What is up, everyone? Happy New Year. It's 2026, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live Show. Thrift, Barringer, Big Rich, bringing in the new year virtually for this first show. Got a lot we're going to be talking about, but we hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve. We hope you have a prosperous, fantastic 2026. Big Rich, how was your New Year?
It was great, Thrift. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun watching the college football playoff. I'm excited about this upcoming week, getting ready for these games for this holiday showcase.
We're presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet, GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, Coca-Cola, and, of course, Houston Clinic. Want to say thank you to the Reserve Club Viago. Also, thank you to Philip White Benefits and Gordy Eye Care for their sponsorship of the Holiday Showcase, Muskogee County, which we're doing tomorrow and Saturday. We're doing all 16 games. Yes, that is right. All 16 games we're going to be doing on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We did another 9 of the 20 Border War games, 4 on Monday, 5 on Tuesday. Big Rich was a lot of fun. And I guess we'll kind of start there. In today's show, we're going to talk about Border Wars, kind of rehash what happened, preview the Holiday Showcase, talk about some of those games that we're looking forward to. And at the end, we'll have some 2025 best memories as we bring in now 2026. All right, Rich, let's talk about the Border Wars. We were there for that. Lee Scott took down a really good Morgan County team. I think Lee Scott boys team, they have something special brewing, and they made a quarterfinals appearance last year. I think Coach William Johnson, led by our guy in Hayden Harper. I think this team has a lot to play for. Now, Glenwood's going to have a lot to say for it, too, because they dominated Marion and Terrell. But I thought the best win of the Border Wars was Lee Scott over Morgan County. That game went down to the wire. I was on the call, and you were for the Glenwood girls as they beat Marion. And then Marion girls beat Glenwood girls. And then Glenwood boys beat Marion boys. So that was the first day. On the second day, Mike Peacock did a good job. Tuscaloosa, Deerfield, Windsor, Opelika, Morgan. We saw Calvary lose to Morgan County, a tough loss for Coach Gordon's team. And then the Glenwood girls lost to, I think, one of the best GIAA teams. Richard, you know about Coach Israel and those Terrell Academy. They were undefeated last year and played in a state championship game. And then the Glenwood boys able to upend Terrell once again. They beat him earlier this year. So the boys now win back-to-back. But just a great job by the Border War Showcase. Hospitality room was elite. Thank you to Coach Dustin Perdue and his staff for taking care of us. It was great that they had 2 gymnasiums going, Richard, because the games got done before 9 o'clock. And all in all, I thought it was just a great showing to showcase the excellent campus over at Glenwood. And for our 4th year in a row, Richard, glad that we were able to be able to broadcast it. What were some of the takeaways you had from the Border Wars?
Well, the hospitality room was fantabulous. It was great.
Fantabulous is the word we're using from now on. That is fantabulous.
I've heard it somewhere in a movie. Anyway, the 19th Border Wars, I mean, we've had some familiar faces. We had newcomers, Schley County, making their debut in the Border Wars. It was great to see Marion County back. It was great to see Valley back. Of course, Deerfield, Windsor. We appreciate all the schools that participated in the Border Wars. The Glenwood boys had a great showing going 2-0. The Glenwood girls, they're still learning as they go, playing elite teams, 0-2, but still playing some top teams. And seeing Lee Scott Academy dominate is always great. And Morgan County. So this is a team that's not even in our area. They are in Callaway's region. They are a 2A school that you got to watch out for.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you're right. Morgan County is a really good program. Their football program, remember, they went undefeated and won that region that Callaway was in, Richard. I was really impressed with Braylon Alexander. He had 30 points in that game against Marion. We were there for that. I'm telling you, I don't think there's a better freshman. I think he's a top 5 player right now as a freshman. And I've seen a lot of great teams. I saw Carver beat Mays, and TJ Woodson was great. Truesdale. There's not many guys that I would put over Braylon Alexander. And this young man is only a freshman, Richard. What would you see from him?
Yeah, I saw Braylon Alexander completely dominate on both sides of the glass. Just scoring at will, but his defense was elite. His passing was elite. We're looking at a very special freshman that might go down as one of the best players to ever come out of our area. And he is just absolutely dominant. I'm excited just to see him just be showcased as a freshman. And it was great seeing players like C.Y. Phillips, Tyler Clarity, Trey Clarity to step up. And that's really, it's been a team effort. It hasn't just been Braylon Alexander. The defense before, you saw in the Chaco game earlier in December, they started doubling him after he got 16 points. But he's getting his teammates involved. And that's why I think Glenwood's a dangerous team, because they're starting to play like a team.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Richard. And we are looking forward to being there again next year. So great job by Coach Purdue and the Glenwood Border Wars. Valley, Sly County, some of the other teams that played in it, Lafayette, Opelika girls. So glad that we were able to see a great amount of those teams, Richard, and looking forward to next year once again. But thank you for Coach Purdue and his staff. Take care of all of us that were able to be there, a part of that. All right, Rich, let's take a quick break. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about the Holiday Showcase, preview some of those games, and then we're going to end it with some best of 2025 moments. It's the 2026 version of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to the Campus Academy Private School, where every student is celebrated for their individuality. With personalized curriculum, students unlock their potential, growing into confident learners. At the Campus Academy, we give teachers the freedom to create dynamic classrooms where every student's voice is heard. Discover the difference. Enroll your child today and watch them thrive.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Here we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Sorry, making sure I got the text and everything's ready for tomorrow, because we got some games bright and early. It's the Muscogee County Holiday Showcase. Rich, throw up the schedule. Let's talk about those games. 16 games in 2 days. Wow. Look at it. All right, let's talk about these games. Tomorrow, Jordan boys and girls take on Smith Station. In my opinion, let's start there, Richard. I think the girls' game should be competitive. We've seen Shireen Cobb kind of kick off the showcase before last year, also kick off kind of the Muscogee County Christmas tournament when it was actually a tournament, and it just had the Muscogee County schools only playing in it. But I think that game's going to be competitive. I don't know about the boys. I think Coach Omar and Ingersoll are going to be elite, and I think they're going to get a big win. I don't see anything. Paxton will be on the call for that, Richard. Let's talk about the 1 o'clock game, because I think 1 o'clock and 2:30, those may be the games of the day. Coach Jarquella Wood's team taking on the Auburn girls and Coach Pritchett at 1, and then 2:30. This potentially really could be the game of the entire showcase. Coach Quintavious Allen's Spencer Greenway's 9-1, Richard, won some tournaments already early in this year, taking on the number 2 team, and I think the favorite in 1A, the Chatco Panthers. Sign me up. I know who's going to be watching this, Sandy Spiel, but those are some of the games early on. What stands out to you through those first 4 games?
Well, for starters, those first 2 games, Jordan and Smith Station, look, it's always great when you see a team from Alabama take on a team from Georgia. I expect a lot of fan support. 2 outstanding schools with a great alumni. I know Smith Station's a 7A school. Jordan is a 2A school, but Jordan is proud just to take on a 7A school. I expect it to be fun. I don't know how competitive that boys game is going to be, because Coach Ingersoll's got a squad that could compete for a region title. And Coach Jonas Barnes in his second year as the Jordan boys coach, it's a learning curve. Still trying to build his identity, his foundation to try to get Jordan back to the days when they won the state championship back in 2007. I'm looking to see what Coach Hamby could do going up against Coach Welch in that first game at 10 o'clock at the Lumpkin Center. So I'm looking forward to those two matchups, Jordan and Smith Station, Northside and Auburn girls. That's going to be a fantastic matchup. And then, of course, you said it, Thrift, that Spencer Chaco game could be the game of the tournament or the showcase.
And it's going to be our guy, Champ Simpson, going on some elite and high athletic ability of Spencer, and anybody that is second guess Coach Quintavious Allen can do that at their own accord. I told you that over and over again. Let's talk about some of the night games. Mike Peacock will be on the call for Spencer Dothan girls. Spencer girls, how about Coach Chench's team with the Roster sisters? They had a pretty good showing. One of them was an all-tournament player in that early Christmas tournament. Kendrick Dothan boys, really probably the biggest test of the season for Coach Andre Dodd's team that only has one loss, and we're going to learn a lot about them. If they can take care of business against Dothan, Kendrick starts to become more and more of a real contender against Carver and Shaw and some of the other teams in our rankings. Shaw Opelika girls should be a lot of fun. You got the elite guards of Shaw and athletic ability of Opelika. And then the nightcap, Opelika boys, Swag taking on the X-Man, Xavier Davies, Rich. You'll be there for those two primetime games at 7 and 8:30. That's going to be an incredible day one of basketball, Rich. I think it's highlighted by Spencer Chatco, followed by Northside Opelika, Kendrick Dothan, and then I would put Northside Auburn girls as that next game up as ones that intrigue me for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Dothan is in this holiday showcase. They are the only team outside of the Chattahoochee Valley that is featured. The Dothan girls right now are 11-5, and the Dothan boys are 17-1. A big shout out to my guy, Philip Jordan, who covers everything Dothan related. I'll make sure let him know that to tune into Georgia Alabama Sports Live because he covers Dothan. We're excited to see the Spencer girls going up against the Dothan girls. Dothan is 7A school. It's going to be a challenge for Coach Tench's bunch. And then Kendrick, we're going to see what they're made of going up against one of the top 7A schools in Alabama. And then I can't wait to be on the call for the nightcap, Shaw Opelika. That's always going to be great. The girls matchup, a fantastic matchup. That backcourt with Brooke Schiff and Keishai Walcott has been fantastic for Coach Marquand, Coach Crowell. They've done a great job. Shaw has won 2 straight. And then, boy, I tell you, that's box office. When you have the X-Man going up for Northside, Coach Greg Johnson going up against the Opelika Bulldogs, which they had a winning record last year. They just missed the playoffs because they're in a tough region. But we know all about Swag. He played at Glenwood last year. We know that he is box office. And he's going to put on a show, and I can't wait to see Jadarian Holloway in this showcase in the nightcap.
Yeah, I can't wait either, man. And I think it's been, I think it's awesome, to be honest with you. And I'm looking forward to being there for tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we got Kendrick girls taking on Russell County girls, the #1 team, and then Russell County Hardaway boys. I think both those games are going to be absolute bloodbaths, and I think Russell County is going to walk out of there with easy wins. Columbus Harris County girls, don't sleep on Columbus girls. They're getting better, but Harris County girls are just a different animal under Coach Ramsey Dunn. 1:30, Columbus and Calvary. JJ taking on Dylan Hostin could be fun, and I know Calvary's itching to get back to playing good basketball. They were 8-1, and now they're 8-3. They lost their last 2 against Morgan and Shaw. They're going to try to bounce back against Columbus. They also on Friday got a game against Strong Rock. So that's 2 big games for Calvary. Strong Rock a little bit bigger, obviously, because of it being a region game. And then let's talk about the night games, Richard. Hardaway Central, you'll be on the call for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. 2 of the top programs last year, and young, talented Central team that taking on a team in Hardaway when they finally get there fully healthy. They're going to be a team looking to maybe try to go for another region championship. Shaw Central, me and you'll be on the call. Looking forward to seeing the Shaw boys and the Central boys. How about getting the Central girls and boys teams involved in this showcase? Love it. And then the 2 nightcap games, Carver, Auburn. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a packed gymnasium, but nothing's going to be more packed than Carver and Auburn. Now that, sign me up for. It is going to be an incredible showing of high athleticism. We got Auburn, who's 13-6 coach. Their head coach, Richard, now is off the top of my head, and he has been there for a long time.
I do want to say about Auburn, Chris Brandt.
Thank you, Rich. And Chris Brandt, let me tell you this, Rich. Chris Brandt has won state championships. He's made deep playoff runs, and I'm telling you right now, they are a fundamentally sound team as they can get. They're 15-6 on the season right now, Rich. Their leading scorer is, do you remember Marquise Daniels?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Played for the Dallas Mavericks. Remember, he came to the CB Hoops Fall League a couple of years ago because his son plays at Auburn.
Yeah, so he actually was an All-American and All-SEC performer at Auburn, took him to the Sweet 16. Evidently, coincidentally enough, he was on the last time Auburn made a Sweet 16 appearance and, heck, even an NCAA tournament appearance. He was on that team before Bruce Pearl got there and kind of changed the whole mindset of this program. But Antoine Daniels, he's good. Manuel's good. They got Brooks, who's also can play. They're just well-coached basketball team. And I'm telling you, that one's going to be, you got the athleticism and you got the high-flying, putting on a show of Carver, full-court press, and you got a team that slows it down, very fundamentally sound, complete opposite of the way Carver plays. That is going to be the nightcap. Sign me up, Rich. That is an excellent day 2, and I know you're looking forward to it. What are some of the games that are standing out to you?
Well, I'm really looking forward to that matchup. I'll be on the call for Hardaway girls, Central girls. Coach Kelly Ellison going up against Coach Regetta Williams. I know that Rihanna Boynton and Jabria Lindsay are not playing in this game. It's still a big-time matchup. I know that if you would have told me that we would have got this a year ago when they were both healthy, sign me up for that. But it's still going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing Calvary Christian kind of get back and snap a 2-game losing streak. But, J.J. Johnson for Columbus going up against Dylan Hostin, and then the guard play for Calvary and the guard play for Columbus. That's going to be fantastic. And, of course, I'm really looking forward to being on the call with you along with Carver and Auburn, both girls and boys. Because both programs for Carver and Auburn are fantastic. And I know we're going to get some incredible matchups in the nightcap. Yeah.
Carver leading with TJ Woodson. Now they got Truesdale back. Tobias Tolbert, by the way, they lost their last game in that the Lemon Street Classic, but they won the second one against North Cobb. They beat North Cobb, and Tobias Tolbert had 40 and 15. That guy is dominant. So can't wait to see the Carver Tigers. So, all right, Rich, let's take a break. When we come back from break, we're going to kind of put a bow on 2025 and look forward to 2026. It's the first show of the Georgia-Alabama Sports Live year 2026. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
We are the only live and local sports talk show in East Alabama, West Central Georgia. Sports Visions 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Well, speaking of the morning show, you can check it out next Monday. Rich, you've been able to do some best stuff, so thank you for that, as always. All right, 2025. What a year, man. Some of the things that really stood out to me, Pacelli finishing undefeated. The boys team dominating all the way through, calling those state championship games at CSU. Glenwood's first year in the AHSAA basketball came both boys and girls second in the region, won 20 games, made the playoffs. Football undefeated during the regular season, and the baseball team just dominated everybody in our area and won a state championship. For Coach Fanning, that is number 11. Can you believe that, Richard?
And believe it.
Unbelievable for Coach Fanning. It may be 12 now that I just can't keep up with how many he's got. But those are definitely some of the ones that stood out early last year when we started this for 2025. Definitely those games, like Glenwood Central baseball game specifically, stands out more than anything else that I called at the beginning of this year. Just the meaning behind it. For the first time those programs ever facing off against each other in a real meaningful game. And the Glenwood to win that, and they were down 4-3 heading in the seventh, ended up winning 8-4. Just incredible atmosphere, and I was glad to be a part of that.
Yeah, a game that really stood out to me was that game between Shaw and Jordan soccer that went to penalty kicks. Speaking of which, I know we talk about all these champions, but how about the job that Shaw did, Coach Curtis Moore, getting them to the championship?
Yeah, you were part of those runs, Rich. Yep.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That game between it was at Terry Gaines Field, Shaw, Jordan, going down to penalty kicks. It was the most fantastic soccer game I ever been a part of.
Yeah, I know you had fun doing that. Brooks Stone winning a state championship, being there, calling that game at Synovus Park was a lot of fun. Football this year, I guess the Russell County game at the end was fantastic to call. Northside, Harris County, just checking that on my phone and be like, man, this game is unbelievable. But I definitely think two games really stood out to me more than anything this past year, Rich, that I was able to call, and some significant moments from them. Glenwood Central and then Carver beating Sumter County, going on the road, doing that broadcast in the rain, having Mike Frost and Ricky a part of it. It was an incredible night. We did 6 games that night, Richard, and it topped off by having a viral moment for this company. Really incredible. Glad that we were able to do that Sumter County game. So those are some of the games that really have stuck out to me more than anything over this past year or so. I think, Richard, you calling that Glenwood Lee Scott game was a big moment for this company back in January, basketball game, because this is the first night that we started our partnership. This is a year now. We've partnered with Colin Scroggins and CNAW2 News. So thank you to Colin Scroggins and CNAW for their support of what we do. And that was the first night we actually kind of got to share all our stuff on Colin Scroggins' page. And we had Carver Sumter for one of the games that it was a great moment. But you calling that Glenwood Lee Scott and Braylon getting the steal really cemented what was a fantastic night and kind of taking our company to a whole nother level.
Yeah, no question about it. And I appreciated that we had the opportunities to call big games, including going outside of our area, a game that really meant a lot to me during our rivalry week. We were really hyping up rivalry week. I know Rick Beach was doing Manchester, Harris County.
Yeah.
I said, well, Chaco and Marion County is a huge rivalry. Let's do this. Even though, it's out of our coverage area, it meant a lot to me to do that game because I wanted to include that in our rivalry week. So I'm glad that we were able to branch out and do schools like Troup County, LaGrange, possibly Callaway in the future. The future looks bright for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I love the fact that we've added Chaco and Marion County just occasionally just to our group of teams that we cover.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun being able to 2025, and we're excited for 2026, starting Middle Georgia Sports, and they've already been dropping shows and rankings, so go and check those out right now, and looking forward to a great year for Macon as we expand what we're doing on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. Rich, is there anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, just the simple fact that, I didn't know if you know, my wife is a Miami Hurricanes fan, lifelong Miami Hurricanes fan. And I root for Georgia because, Georgia right now is beating Ole Miss, but we might get a Miami-Georgia semifinal in the Fiesta Bowl, and that might be the biggest game.
Not shocked at Miami beating Ohio State the way they did. I think Miami has maybe the best roster to anybody in the country. Indiana doing what they did Alabama. Now that I was shocked by.
I was shocked by that too.
Not shocked by Oregon and Texas Tech, and I'm actually not shocked at Georgia, and they're going to win. Georgia, Miami, Oregon, Indiana. We could have a Miami-Oregon national championship. We could have a Miami-Indiana, a Georgia-Indiana, or a Georgia-Oregon natty. I don't know what I want. I think I want Georgia in it.
I'd be okay with any one of those.
I think Georgia, Indiana. Give me Cignetti. Give me the Bulldogs. They've been the more dominant program over the last couple of years. Cignetti's trying to come onto the scene. Either way, guess what, Rich? As y'all are watching the rest of that Georgia game, we got to get ready to get packed up because tomorrow we're going to be up bright and early, 10 o'clock, starting the Holiday Showcase from Muskogee County. It will be start of 16 games in 2 days, 25 games in 4 days. And Richard, also doing the City Wrestling Championship too. Busy week. We don't take breaks. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning from the Muskogee County Holiday Showcase. Thank y'all so much for watching. We hope you have a great 2026, and thank you for joining and be a part of our ride here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Good night, everyone.